the Tyrolean Dr. K here with us to translate to German. And we want to check how much translation. Do you want him to be translating every single word, which is fine, that's okay. But we want to just double check that you want the translation to be complete or for difficult concepts, or what is the group idea. And if anyone prefers everything translated, please say so. Now, you maybe have to translate that.
Die Frage ist, wie viel ich übersetzen soll, ob ich wirklich sozusagen jeden Satz, also alles, was er unterrichtet, übersetzen soll, oder nur wie Zusammenfassung oder schwierige Konzepte, wo Unklarheiten sind, einfach, dass da von euch die Rückmeldung kommt, was gewünscht wird. Wir orientieren uns natürlich an dem, derjenigen, die am meisten braucht, also bitte ruhig sagen, trauen. Ich möchte noch nicht zu viel übersetzen und auch nicht zu wenig.
This is up to you, and don't be shy. If you want to translate it, that's why you're here. That's fine. That's okay.
Sonst wird zuerst eure Eigenklasse. We first step over the goal, then they can decide.
Then they can decide, yeah. Or we can begin by translating everything and see how it goes, too.
Wie ist das? Also vom Vorschlag her? Wer mag Übersetzung haben?
I can be very...
Wenn es notwendig ist, melden wir uns, oder?
Ja.
Wenn es nicht klar ist.
Das heißt, sollen wir dann am Anfang ganz ohne Übersetzung arbeiten?
Ja,
und
etwas weiter und dann, wenn es schwierig wird,
so
können alle Englisch. Das ist schon.
Yes.
Also die Gruppe sagt, sie...
Haben wir Übersetzung?
You have to translate.
You can translate, yeah. That's it. The group says no, wants to start without translation,
Yeah.
and they raise their hands if they need some.
That's
so
good.
we're gonna check while you're teaching how much I interfere.
And I'm usually very good at slowing down and speaking clearly in English too. So I will try to. I've been a translator before for Chinese for Dr. Wang, so I know what it's like to the person speaking has to be very clear so that he can translate. So we'll try with me speaking, slowing my English down as much as I can, and speaking clearly. And the other thing is, as you guys saw on the schedule, the plan for these days is to also we'll see at least 5 patients while we're here, and maybe more, but we have scheduled 5. So treating patients is you don't need translation as much, you're watching. So that's the other thing. So does that mean you just sit here and you're ready?
Yeah. Right.
Okay.
Did you need that one, or can I have that?
You can have that. So good morning, everyone. Thank you again to Bacopa for having me here. And as I was saying a moment ago, it really is an honor to have David here as well, because he's the translator of the German text. He's a great practitioner himself, so it's a real honor for him to take, days from his busy schedule to be here. He will help in this class quite a bit, so I'm very happy he's here. Everyone understanding me so far? Okay. There's 2 main things I want us to work on this weekend. One is the concept of clinical reasoning in Chinese medicine, and that's what I want to talk about now. So we're going to assume that everyone has the very basics of palpation. They understand that. But I still want to go through all the channels if we can to make sure you know the pathways. We're not going to talk about going through what changes at points mean. We won't go through that information. But I want to remind you of this famous quote in Chinese called, I translate it as rising after 3 and 10. It's confusing in English also. It means, in the original Chinese is 10 times, and then you rise. And the number 10 in Chinese culture it means completion, doing something completely. So then if we do things completely 3 times, then you finally rise. What this is saying is that idea that is so familiar to you in Chinese medicine, that when you go over ideas, you really go over the same ideas over and over, and then they get more clear. So although we're calling this advanced class, It's advanced in the sense that many things I assume you know, but we're still going to go over some things again so you get them more clearly. And that even includes going through point location and making absolutely sure some very important points that you understand the locations that I'm using, which are the locations Dr. Wang was using. So this idea of going in circles in Chinese medicine, not into more and more obscure and strange ideas, but going over important core concepts over and over. That's the big idea this weekend. And that one of those is what I'm calling clinical reasoning in Chinese medicine. In other words, how does an experienced practitioner think? Can you get into my head? I was trying to get into Dr. Wang's head also. So we try to get into Dr. Wang's brain and my brain and heart, and then take these ideas and teach them to other people. So that's been my research the last few years. I've been working on a clinical doctorate, a doctorate program in Seattle, and the focus of the research is clinical reasoning, which is really a challenge in Chinese medicine. How do experienced practitioners pass down their information? And so we'll do that through seeing patients, so it's great. And we have this size group is just right. If it was even a little bigger, it would be too big. You know, under 20 people is perfect for this arrangement.